I love a good roasted chicken, and I really love a good roasted chicken on the grill. But today I'm gonna make something a little bit different. We're gonna brine a chicken, we're gonna spatchcock it, and then we are going to grill it under a brick. So it's a brined spatchcock chicken under brick. That's a lot to say, but it's really, really good. So just stay with me. The first thing we're gonna do is wrap up a brick. Now you don't have to do this. The brick simply lets the chicken cook a little bit faster. And I like to use the bricks because it gives uniformity to the roasting of the chicken, and I really like that. So we're gonna just wrap this in a little bit of aluminum foil. And my goal here is to heat up this brick. This is a fire brick that you can get at any home goods store. There we go. And I'm just gonna throw this on the grill and let it get nice and hot. Brining a turkey or a chicken will really add to the flavors that you get out of it. And I love to brine. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of water in my container. Now make sure you have a container large enough to hold all your liquid and your chicken once you submerge. So to get those flavors going, we're going to start with some kosher salt and some sugar. I want to just stir those around really well to try to get them to just melt into this water. You know that salt doesn't melt well, but sugar certainly does. And as you go through the brining process, you're going to want to go through, flip that chicken occasionally, and make sure that you are stirring through well. Now let's add some great flavor components, including some citrus juice. And I love to use citrus in mine. So I'm going to use not just one citrus, but 3. So we'll use a little bit of orange, we'll use some lemon, and we'll use some lime. And I'm going to do 2 of each. And it doesn't matter if you get the seeds from the lemons in here. You're going to strain all that out later. So don't worry about getting those seeds in. Now I want to take my citrus and juice it in, but I'm also going to use all the peels. There we go. Now let's put in an onion. And the onion really adds a lot of flavor to this. And as you're building those flavors, you don't want to miss out on anything. So put in that sugar, put in that salt, put in extra flavorings, lots of citrus juice. And if you don't have fresh citrus, you can always use just the juice, but the fresh citrus with the peel will give it an even better flavor. So let's just give that onion a chop. And I like to just cut it into 8ths. It works pretty well. And then let's take half a bottle of a dry white wine, and I'm just using a Chardonnay here. You can also use sparkling wine, which will add, the effervescence will add to that tenderness in your chicken. Now I'm going to take a couple of bay leaves and some peppercorns, and I want to take a little bit of star anise. Now this is optional. A lot of people don't like star anise. I really love it in my brine, but if you don't like it or you can't find it, don't worry about it. The other item that's optional is juniper berry. So I love to use juniper berries, but sometimes they are difficult to find. And then some whole cloves. Definitely use those. And then I'm going to take a couple of, well actually I'm going to take 4. Hot chili peppers. Now these will not add heat, but they will add to your flavor profile. So definitely use them. I almost forgot something very important. It was blending into my board. 2 cinnamon sticks. I love cinnamon sticks in this, and they really will enhance the flavor. Now I've got a chicken here. This is about a 5-6 pound chicken, and what I want to do is take out the backbone. Now you can see that right here at the bottom of the breast, that's kind of thin. And what we want to do is bring the legs up over top of that part of the breast to protect it so that it all cooks evenly. So let's take that back out. So what we're going to do is go in with some scissors, some kitchen scissors, and just cut through those bones. Now there will be a couple of really hard spots there. If you have trouble, just be ready with your cleaver, which works great. Right in there. Yeah, it's a little bit tight, but sometimes you can get it with your knife or your scissors. Okay, now let's just go down the other side of the backbone. Yeah. And sometimes you just kind of have to pull that tissue away. Let me get from the other side. And this is what we call spatchcocking a chicken. It's taking that backbone out and then splitting the breastbone so it lays flat. Bam. All right, there we go. Now what we want to do is lay this over. So I'm going to take my cleaver and I just want to split this hard bone right here between the two breast pieces, just like this. And then just kind of break it out. Now, then I want to take away any of this really seriously excess skin. I don't want to cut away skin that is protecting the meat, but I do want to take out any of this bigger, chunky, residual stuff. There we go. Now you can see as we lay it over, those legs are just coming right into that part of the breast. Now we're going to drop this into our brine and let it sit overnight. So I've brined this chicken overnight, and once in a while, after you've brined it overnight, you'll find that some of the feathers still may be in there, some little pricks of feather. So you can actually find this. The salt will bring that out of the bird. So make sure that you get all of that out. Just check your chicken really well. And now I want to just brush my chicken with a little bit of olive oil. And I love to use a rosemary oil or a garlic oil, something that's going to give just a little extra flavor on the outside of my bird. So here I'm going to use a little bit of rosemary oil, and I only want about a tablespoon, tablespoon and a half. You don't need much because we don't want serious flare-ups with this chicken. We want to be able to just brush it lightly so that we can get some marks on it, but we don't want a lot of flare-up on this. You already have a lot of skin that will cause flare-ups on a grill, so let's just give it a little light coat. And we've already salted and peppered it, but if you're just one of those people who has to see salt and pepper on the outside of your bird, go ahead and do it. Let's flip it over and just give it a light brush. And now I want to rub down the grill and put this chicken right on. So let's lay that bird right on the grill. Make sure that the wings are tucked under and the legs are out in front of that breastbone. And then I want to take one of my bricks. I have two wrapped here. One is a little hotter than the other, and I want to just put the hottest brick on that chicken. Now grill that chicken for about an hour, always keeping those bricks nice and hot as you put them back on the surface of the upper side, and you will have an amazing chicken. Once it comes off the grill, wrap it up in aluminum foil for about a half an hour so that it can kind of steam and really get those juices back where they all belong, just like you do with a steak. You're gonna love this chicken. So let's see what we've got. Look at this beautiful bird. It is fall off the bone tender. Look at that. It's just amazing. Oh my, and it just separates out. Just look at that, it's beautiful. Let me just grab a little piece of this. Oh, this is so tender. You can see how juicy it is. It's just amazing. I love chicken. Now let's try it with this beautiful wine. This is a Viognier, and Viognier really lends itself well to seafood and chicken. The State Grape of Virginia, I love it. So wonderful with this bird, and I hope you'll enjoy it as well.